everyone, Lou here. You know, while I was working on my Hellsing vs Black Butler video, an idea really hit my head here. Yana Toboso drew this artwork of Alois and Claude Faustus if they were in the manga, which sparked this idea a long time ago that I'd love to put into a video. So, what if Alois and Claude were in the manga? I suppose you could call this a Black Butler Season 2 rewrite, but that doesn't have as cool of a title to it. Also, I am really focusing on the manga here, so... Second is that I've had this idea for years, so I personally say quite a few years went into this proposed hypothetical because I'm a little crazy, and I hyperfixate like crazy on my favorite anime. Now, onto the AU. First off is actually explaining what the Queen Spider is, because Season 2 never explains that. I think it's implied they gather intel, but again, they never really explain it, so I'll make a new explanation here for this video. The Queen Spider is more like a cleanup crew for the guard dog. They go around making sure witnesses or any accidental killings are either paid off or killed off. After all, someone has to pay the papers to stop talking about kidnapped children, or dispose of evidence left behind that would publicly solve the Jack the Ripper murder. However, because Vincent and Claudia were incredible guard dogs who didn't leave much behind, the Trancy family sort of fell into laziness with their duties, where the previous Earl still has the same story of having a wife, her child is kidnapped, and she takes her own life. However, in this hypothetical, Alois was actually the son of the previous Earl and his wife, just because it's super suspicious that he looks identical to the previous Earl's wife, and it makes his backstory 20% more horrifying than the 100% it already is. Okay, so Alois was kidnapped as a baby, I'm going to say by disgruntled previous servants, where he was raised in poor conditions with the biological son of the servants, Luca. Except they died, where the story still plays out, where everyone treated them like shit, as well as Luca causing some kind of supernatural event, where everyone just kind of dropped dead, including himself. But in this AU, Hannah doesn't exist, and neither do the triplets, because they fucking suck. Hell, if we want to get really dramatic, I think it'd be deliciously angsty if Claude was the one who made the contract with Luca and destroyed the village. Imagine the devastation of Alois ever finding out that the demon he's contracted to is the one who killed his brother? Ooh, the angst. Okay, so story still plays out the same up until his contract. You see, Claude is a sadistic bastard, but Alois is also his meal, and in this AU, he doesn't know Sebastian previously for literally no reason, nor does he know about CL for, again, no reason. Similarly to CL, Alois at least thought a little rationally about his contract and told Claude that he wants to be the one to find out himself, solely because we see in the manga that a demon will literally just tell you who killed someone, as it's implied Sebastian might know who killed CL's parents. Only because he literally says he'd find them and kill them, which like kind of implies he might know from omnipresent stuff, but anyway. Cut to where or when Alois and CL would actually meet. I think they'd really have a chance to speak closely with one another after the circus arc because of Baron Kelvin's house, so Alois and Claude likely had a lot of work to do, as well as cover up the kidnapping children part and all that. After all, it does look bad on the Queen if her nobles are the ones kidnapping and killing children and all that. At that point, it would be really interesting as an interaction, because that's where we see they'd have different worldviews on how to deal with the children in the cages, and yet find a way to respect one another. Since it is implied under different circumstances, they actually would have been really good friends. For CL, I think Alois would remind him of the real CL, whose personality is admittedly very similar to Alois, and for Alois, I think CL would remind him of Luca at least a little bit, just because he's smaller and like nicer. From then on, I think Alois would only show up after certain arcs to go over the cleanup process with CL, like maybe the school arc where he'd talk about having to convince all the papers to stop talking about the Queen's nephew, as well as maybe fabricating some kind of runaway story for her nephew, so the Queen doesn't believe that her nephew was actually murdered by the top students at the school. For when the twin CL plot twist happens, I think this is when Alois is in a real pickle, because he'd love to go help his friend, but real CL probably has eyes on Alois like a hawk, and would easily have some kind of rivalry with him since Real CO says as a child he doesn't need fake brothers. In other words, he doesn't need friends that act like brothers to him because he already has a brother. That's so far what I've got, only because Black Butler's manga is still ongoing at the time of writing this video, but I really wanted to do a video like this. I did say after my Book of Atlantic review that I'd find a way to never shut up about Black Butler, and this is one of the few ways I know how. However, you guys let me know down below what you think. This was a super fun video to gush over, so let me know down below if you guys would love to hear any other hypothetical or alternate universe plot ideas, because I have quite a few I've been writing about for years, and others I've been boiling that I'd love to finally have a platform to talk about. As always, let me know down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching! If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. If any of you would like to help support my channel in any possible way, my Ko-fi page is down below in the description, along with all of my social media. For any subscribers, new or old, who'd like to help with video ideas, or maybe just want to talk about anime or something, I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!